Okay, they say there is no cure for my disorder. So if I'm ever disorderly, or if it was any disorderly or whatever, or if you feel like you've been dissed by me, or if I ever dissed any order or something like that, they say there is no cure for my disorder and it is not my fault. They say I have bipolar disorder. And they say, can you ever fully recover from bipolar disorder? And it says, although bipolar disorder has no cure, people with the condition can experience long periods during which they are free of symptoms with ongoing treatment and self management. So it's like managing myself, like being my own manager. I don't need a man to age me in a ER or any of that stuff. And like self management, like I can do it myself. Like this video, and it kind of makes sense because the stuff that I know how to do, like these videos and stuff, like I don't really need a manager or a man or and all of that stuff and that kind of stuff like that because they say that when you make videos and do stuff like that, they supposed to pay you like $20 or $30 an hour or a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? For doing that kind of stuff or whatever. And it's crazy because I would have to work by myself in self management due to my disorder. But somebody got mad at me because they can't be my boss or something like that. It's like due to my disability, like I ain't never been able to like work at a job, for even a whole year straight because someone just triggered me and I would just snap and I would have to leave. But I would always leave without hurting anyone and without abusing anyone because I don't have any victims and I'm like 38 years old. Sometimes people then stood in the door and told me that I gotta fight them or tried to make me fight them in order to leave. So other people tried to start fights with me. I was walking out of a hotel room one time and somebody stood in the door and said I gotta fight them in order to leave. And it's crazy because I'm disabled, you know what I'm saying? It don't really make sense. And so, since I don't like fighting people and doing stuff like that, and I mostly like, reading and making videos and stuff like that, like they said, well, you can get a job and you could work, but they would have to pay you like 20 and 30 and $40 an hour. And in order for you to get paid and do that job, you would have to, self management. They can't really be your manager or be your boss. So like you can have your own business and stuff like that. But if you had your own business, a lot of people would be jealous of it because since people wouldn't be able to be your boss and you would make all of that money, that's why you don't have your own business, is what they told me. Because they said that I'm better at doing what I know how to do. But since it's very profitable and you can make a lot of money from it, people don't want you to have more money than them. And people don't want you to have all of the access to what all of that money could buy you if you was making 20, 30, and $40 an hour. So they would rather for you to just be on disability and get a disability check or whatever. Because when I went to the hearing one time, like when the girl was there with me, you know what I'm saying? Because I got married and they said that like when I filled out the disability papers, they said it was for me and it was for my wife, you know. And when I went to the hearing and it was supposed to be for me and for my wife, they said that if you can't work at the jobs because they won't give you a job doing what you know how to do, which is like these videos and this stuff online, and they don't want to pay you $30 an hour and $40 an hour and all of that money, then somebody breaking the law and it's not me. Because they said, due to your disability, since it means that I would have to be the boss because no one else could really work with me like that other than my wife, because she the only one that I trust, and my wife is the only one that, make me feel comfortable. They was like, then nobody else couldn't really work with you. But if they didn't want you to get a disability check and say it's something you can do, the only way you can do it is if they allow you to do it. You know what I'm saying? But when they said that you can't work at their businesses because they don't like your tattoos on your face and they don't like your hair and they don't like the way you talk and stuff, it's like they was bullying me, because since the tattoos and stuff on my face got to do with believing in the Bible and religion, and there are Yoruba crime marks, for the people in Yoruba, you know, and the people of color, and even in the Christian Bible, it says that, you know, that God would put a mark on certain people, the mark of God, and seal them in their foreheads and all of that stuff. Since I believe in God and I believe in religions and I believe in all the colors and stuff, it's like somebody got mad at me and said that they didn't want me to work for them or with them or have any money or something like that. And so I just be making these videos over there because since there is no cure for my disorder and this is America and I have disabilities and stuff like that, I don't know how any of this is supposed to work, because it says, can you ever fully be recover from bipolar disorder? It says, although bipolar disorder has no cure, people with the condition can experience long periods during which they are free of symptoms with ongoing treatment and self management. So see, that was the problem. Somebody tried to act like they was an A&R manager, or somebody else tried to be my manager, or somebody else tried to get me to sign like a record deal or some paper or somebody tried to be my manager. But due to the disorder that I have, I would have to be my own manager. MOM, mom, my own manager. I would have to be my own manager. And I would have to manage my own business. And I would have to do it on my own, you know what I'm saying? So, and if they don't allow me to do that, it's like it's laws in this country that said that, well, then you would just have to get a disability check if, due to your disorder, you're not able to work, or the people that had access to those resources don't want you to be a manager of yourself, because that's just them saying that they don't want you to be a self manager. But if what I do is not a crime because of what I'm doing and what I've been doing for 38 years, I never had any victim of any violent crimes, then there is no reason for why I don't have my own business and why I'm not making 20, 30, and $40 an hour. And there is no reason for why I should not be getting a disability check, because since I am disabled and I went to that hearing that was for me and my wife, when she got her award letter for disability, they explained to me how it works. And they was like, if you never was able to work on a job for a whole year straight without your disability being, a problem for you. And they was like, I started working, when I was like 14 years old. And it was just for the summer. And the other jobs was like at the temp services. It would always be something about my disability and being bipolar and having schizoaffective disorder and PTSD and stuff and being molested to where they can look at my taxes. It's a long track record showing that he was never able to actually stay on the job all of that time because due to him being abused and molested and the youngest one in the house, you know what I'm saying? And being told that he was guilty over and over again. They say this gaslighting due to me being gaslit and told that I was guilty over and over again for having no victims. It kind of made me feel crazy and nobody never explained it to me. But they was like, since everything's online now and like they make these videos and it's all about electronics and technology in the future, it was like, since you're one of those self-management types, you supposed to have a lot of money or whatever. I mean, they can like give you a grant or something, or they can like open your own business, or you can get an attorney or a lawyer and file a civil suit and get the money that you deserve. Because if you are doing this stuff yourself and nobody wants to give you a job and nobody wants to understand, but these disorders are defined, then they say that's discrimination and that's persecution against people with disabilities. Because since I am a person with a disability, they say that's a lawsuit because you should have more money than you have. You should have your own business and you should be more financially stable than you are if you've been working your whole life and due to your disability, you did all you could and you actually look online and research and pull this stuff up and you actually believe in God and all religions and all of the colors and people and all of that, and you have no victims, it's like you're an outstanding citizen, sir. Why have they treated you this way? I don't know. It's crazy. And it made me crazy. So, they say there is no cure. So if they didn't give you a job or they didn't give you a grant or they didn't help you get your own business so that you can self-manage your own business due to your disability and due to your abilities, then they have no other choice but to just give you a disability check because you're not a problem. You don't make victims. You're not hurting anyone, you know. So I don't understand.